Starting a communication plan. Communication plan for Larry Jeffers race cars, development of the alcohol-fueled dragster scenario. Overview. Larry Jeffers Race Cars, LJRC, is undertaking a project to develop a cutting-edge, alcohol-fueled dragster. This communication plan ensures that all stakeholders are well informed and that project information is efficiently shared. 1. Types of communication: status updates, weekly project progress reports. Issues: immediate communication of any project blockers or risks. User feedback, monthly feedback sessions with test drivers and mechanics. Fictional metrics: status updates, sent every Friday by 5 p.m., 95% adherence rate. Issues: response time within 2 hours of identification, 100% compliance. User feedback, summary reports compiled within 48 hours of feedback session, 80% timely completion. 2. Recipients of communication: key stakeholders, project sponsor, engineering lead, financial officer. Project team: engineers, designers, mechanics, marketing team. Vendors, parts suppliers, testing facilities. Fictional metrics: key stakeholders, including all major updates, 100% inclusion. Project team: daily stand-up meeting attendance, 90% average attendance rate. Vendors, monthly update calls, 80% participation rate. 3. When communication happens: frequency: daily stand-up meetings for the project team. Weekly progress reports to stakeholders. Monthly strategic meetings with key stakeholders. Key dates: prototype completion deadline, September 30th. Initial testing phase start, October 15th. Final product launch, December 20th. Fictional metrics: daily meetings, held every weekday at 9 a.m., 95% punctuality. Weekly reports, distributed every Friday by 5 p.m., 95% adherence rate. Monthly meetings, scheduled for the first Monday of each month, 100% completion. 4. How communication happens: email, for formal reports and updates. Meetings, in-person or video conferences for detailed discussions. Presentations, quarterly updates and major milestone reviews. Fictional metrics: email open rate, target of 90% within 24 hours. Meeting attendance, 85% participation in video conferences. Presentation feedback, 4.55 satisfaction rating from attendees. 5. Why communication happens: goals, progress updates, to ensure project is on track. Risk identification, early identification and mitigation of potential issues. Decision making, facilitating informed decisions by stakeholders. Fictional metrics: progress updates, 90% of tasks completed on schedule. Risk identification, 95% of identified risks mitigated within a week. Decision making, 80% of decisions made within 48 hours of meeting. 6. Where communication resources are located: notes and meeting minutes, stored in a shared project management tool, for example, Asana, Trello. Reports and presentations, accessible in a centralized document repository, for example, Google Drive, SharePoint. Fictional metrics: document repository access, 95% of team members accessing documents within 24 hours of upload. Meeting minutes accuracy, 100% accuracy as verified by meeting attendees. Additional fictional details: 7. Communication frequency: daily stand-ups, 15-minute updates to ensure daily alignment. Bi-weekly technical syncs, deep dives into technical aspects with engineers and designers. Quarterly stakeholder reviews, comprehensive reviews of project progress with all key stakeholders. Fictional metrics: daily stand-ups, 90% average attendance rate. Bi-weekly technical syncs, 85% issue resolution rate by the next meeting. Quarterly stakeholder reviews, 4.85 satisfaction rating from stakeholders. 8. Escalation process: immediate issue reporting, direct line to project manager for critical issues. Tiered escalation, levels of escalation for different severity issues. Fictional metrics: immediate issue reporting, 100% of critical issues reported within 30 minutes. Tiered escalation, 95% resolution of high-severity issues within 24 hours. 9. Training and onboarding, training sessions, monthly training for new tools and processes. Onboarding program, detailed onboarding for new team members. Fictional metrics: training sessions, 90% participation rate. Onboarding program, new team members fully onboarded within 2 weeks, 100% success rate. Benefits of the communication plan: continuity, scenario, A new project manager joins mid-project and quickly understands project status and history by referring to the communication plan. Metric: new PM onboarded and productive within 2 weeks, 100% success rate. Change management: scenario: post-project, stakeholders need to address a regulatory change. They refer to the communication plan to understand past decisions and update processes. Metric: change implementation within 1 month of identification, 90% success rate. By using these fictional scenario examples and metrics, Larry Jeffers' race cars can ensure effective communication throughout the development of the alcohol-fueled dragster, leading to a successful project outcome. A communication plan is a document that outlines how project information will be communicated among stakeholders. It includes types of communication, status updates, issues, user feedback, etc. Recipients of communication, key stakeholders, project team when communication happens, frequency, daily, weekly, etc., and key dates, deadlines, meetings, how communication happens, email, meetings, presentations, etc. Why communication happens, goals, progress update, risk identification, etc., where communication resources are located, notes, meeting minutes, etc. Benefits of a communication plan: continuity. New project managers can understand the project by referring to the plan. Change management. Stakeholders can refer to the plan to fix problems or make decisions after the project is complete. Developing and optimizing a communication plan. Detailed summary: communication plan for Larry Jeffers' race car scenario. Development and optimization of communication plan. Types of communication: monthly newsletter. Target: key stakeholders. Purpose: provide status update overview. Fictional metrics: distribution by the first of each month. Target: 100% on-time delivery. Stakeholder engagement rate. Target: 75% of stakeholders read the newsletter within 3 days. Daily stand-ups. Target: core team. Purpose: report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. Fictional metrics: stand-up meeting punctuality. Target: 95% on-time start. Average duration. Target: 15 minutes or less. Weekly check-ins. Target: project subgroups, marketing, procurement, product development. Purpose: discuss subgroup-specific progress and issues. Fictional metrics: check-in attendance. Target: 90%. Follow-up action items. Completion rate. Target: 85%. Communication recipients, key stakeholders. Core team. Project subgroups. Best practices, contact information, list contact details and time zones. Keep sensitive information private. Fictional metrics: contact list accuracy. Target: 100% up to date. Privacy compliance. Incidents. Target: 0 incidents. Adaptation: tailor communication methods to different teams and authority levels. Be concise with executives, focusing on key points and action items. Fictional metrics: executive communication satisfaction score. Target: 4.55. Tailored communication feedback score. Target: 4.75. Email effectiveness: add a note at the top for long emails. Fictional metrics: email open rate. Target: 90% within 24 hours. Email response rate. Target: 80% within 48 hours. Team involvement: enable team members to be involved based on their expertise. Fictional metrics: involvement satisfaction score. Target: 4.65. Expertise utilization rate. Target: 85%. Communication goals: monthly newsletter, provide a status update overview. Fictional metrics: stakeholder feedback on newsletter content. Target: 4.55. Daily stand-ups, report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. Fictional metrics: blockers resolution rate. Target: 95% within 24 hours. Optimizing communications, team check-ins, ensure communications meet team members' needs. Fictional metrics: check-in feedback score. Target: 4.55. Learning styles: consider visual, auditory, and analytical preferences. Fictional metrics: communication effectiveness score based on learning style preference. Target: 4.65. Feedback: send brief surveys to gather feedback on communication effectiveness. Fictional metrics: survey response rate. Target: 80%. Feedback implementation rate. Target: 90%. Key elements of a communication plan: who needs to be involved, define participants for each type of communication. Fictional metrics: participation rate. Target: 90%. Methods of communication: specify delivery methods, email, in-person, virtual meetings, shared documents, progress reports. Fictional metrics, method appropriateness score, target, 4.55. Purpose of communication, clarify the goals and expected outcomes. Fictional metrics, goal clarity score, target, 4.75. Frequency of communication, determine how often each communication occurs. Fictional metrics, adherence to communication schedule, target, 95%. Frequency considerations, senior stakeholders, weekly or monthly high-level updates. Fictional metrics, update receipt confirmation, target, 100%. Core team, daily or frequent check-ins for detailed updates. Fictional metrics, check-in completion rate, target, 90%. Key dates and times, important events, specify dates for product launches, presentations, and other significant events. Fictional metrics, milestone completion on schedule, target, 95%. Recurring communications, list general timing, for example, every Monday. Fictional metrics, recurring communication adherence, target, 95%. Delivery methods, email, in-person meetings, virtual meetings, shared documents, progress reports. Benefits of a communication plan, improves communication effectiveness, streamlines information sharing and reduces misunderstandings. Fictional metrics, communication effectiveness score, target, 4.75. Keeps people engaged and motivated, regular updates maintain interest and drive. Fictional metrics, team engagement score, target, 4.65. Facilitates effective conversations, enhances discussions with stakeholders by providing clear and consistent information. Fictional metrics, stakeholder conversation satisfaction, target, 4.85. By developing and optimizing this communication plan, Larry Jeffers race cars can ensure effective information flow, stakeholder engagement, and project success in the development of their alcohol-fueled dragster. ASENS types of communication, monthly newsletter for key stakeholders, daily stand-ups for core team, weekly check-ins for project subgroups, marketing, procurement, product development. ASENS communication recipients, key stakeholders, core team, project subgroups. ASENS best practices, list contact information and time zones, keep sensitive information private, adapt communication methods to different teams and authority levels. Be concise with executives, focusing on key points and action items. Use email effectively by adding a note at the top for long emails. Enable team members to be involved in communications based on their expertise. ASENS communication goals, monthly newsletter, provide status update overview, daily stand-ups, report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. ASENS optimizing communications, check in with team members to ensure communications meet their needs. Consider different learning styles, visual, auditory, analytical. Send brief surveys to gather feedback on communication effectiveness. ASENS key elements of a communication plan, who needs to be involved, methods of communication, purpose of communication, frequency of communication. ASENS frequency considerations, senior stakeholders, weekly or monthly high-level updates, core team, daily or frequent check-ins for detailed updates. ASENS key dates and times, specify dates for important events, product launches, presentations. For recurring communications, list general timing, for example, every Monday. ASENS delivery methods, email, in-person meetings, virtual meetings, shared documents, progress reports. ASENS benefits of a communication plan, improves overall communication effectiveness, keeps people engaged and motivated, facilitates effective conversations with stakeholders. Developing a communication plan. Detailed communication plan for Larry Jeffers Race Cars Company. Scenario overview. Project, development of a new high-performance chassis for a drag racing car. Objective, complete the chassis development within 6 months, ensuring it meets performance standards, regulatory requirements, and budget constraints. Budget, $550,000. Timeline, 6 months. Types of communication. 1. Monthly newsletter. Target, key stakeholders, executives, sponsors. Purpose, provide a status update overview. Frequency, monthly. Fictional details, budget status, $10,000 under budget, variance, plus 1.8%. Progress, 3 out of 6 milestones achieved. Metrics, customer satisfaction score, 85%, employee satisfaction score, 90%. 2. Daily stand-ups. Target, core team, engineers, designers, project managers. Purpose, report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. Frequency, daily. Fictional details, tasks completed, 5 tasks completed. Daily blockers resolved, 2 blockers addressed. Next steps, 10 tasks planned for the next day. 3. weekly check-ins. Target, project subgroups, marketing, procurement, product development, purpose, discuss subgroup-specific progress and issues. Frequency, weekly. Fictional details, marketing, 2 campaigns launched. Procurement, 3 suppliers secured. Product development, 4 prototypes tested. Communication recipients. Key stakeholders, executives, sponsors. Core team, engineers, designers, project managers. Project subgroups, marketing, procurement, product development. Best practices. Contact information. Action, list contact details and time zones for all team members. Privacy, keep sensitive information private. Adaptation. Tailor methods, customize communication methods to suit different teams and authority levels. Conciseness, be concise with executives, focusing on key points and action items. Email effectiveness. Note, add a note at the top for long emails to alert readers about key points. Team involvement. Enablement, enable team members to be involved in communications based on their expertise. Communication goals. Monthly newsletter goal, provide a status update overview. Example, include updates on project milestones, budget status, and upcoming key dates. Fictional details, budget status, chassis design phase completed $5,000 under budget. Progress, 50% of parts procured. Metrics, prototype test pass rate, 95%. Daily stand-ups goal, report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. Example, each team member reports on completed tasks, current challenges, and upcoming tasks. Fictional details, tasks completed, fabrication team completed 8 welds. Blockers, 1 supply chain issue resolved. Next steps, testing team to begin durability tests on chassis. Optimizing communications. Team check-ins. Action, ensure communications meet team members' needs. Example, regularly ask for feedback on the effectiveness of communication methods. Learning styles. Consideration, take into account visual, auditory, and analytical preferences. Example, use charts and graphs for visual learners, presentations for auditory learners, and detailed reports for analytical learners. Feedback surveys, send brief surveys to gather feedback on communication effectiveness. Example, what is working in how we communicate with you about the project? What is not effective? Where can we improve? Key elements of a communication plan. Who needs to be involved? Participants, define who participates in each type of communication. Example, core team members attend daily stand-ups, while key stakeholders receive monthly newsletters. Methods of communication. Delivery methods, specify delivery methods, email, in-person, virtual meetings, shared documents, progress reports. Example, use email for newsletters, in-person or virtual meetings for stand-ups, and shared documents for ongoing task tracking. Purpose of communication goals, clarify the goals and expected outcomes of each communication type. Example, monthly newsletters aim to update stakeholders on project progress and budget status. Frequency of communication. Frequency, determine how often each communication occurs. Example, daily stand-ups for the core team, weekly check-ins for subgroups, monthly newsletters for stakeholders. Frequency considerations. Senior stakeholders updates, weekly or monthly high-level updates. Example, monthly newsletter summarizing key milestones and budget status. Core team check-ins, daily or frequent check-ins for detailed updates. Example, daily stand-ups to address immediate concerns and progress. Key dates and times. Important events. Dates, specify dates for product launches, presentations, and other significant events. Example, product launch scheduled for the final week of the project. Recurring communications. Timing, list general timing, for example, every Monday. Example, monthly newsletter sent on the first Monday of each month. Delivery methods. Email, monthly newsletters, status updates. In-person meetings, daily stand-ups, important milestone reviews. Virtual meetings, weekly check-ins, stakeholder updates. Shared documents, task tracking, collaborative work. Progress reports, detailed project reports for stakeholders. Benefits of a communication plan. Improves communication effectiveness. Benefit, streamlines information sharing and reduces misunderstandings. Keeps people engaged and motivated. Benefit, regular updates maintain interest and drive. Facilitates effective conversations. Benefit, enhances discussions with stakeholders by providing clear and consistent information. Example with numerical metrics. Monthly newsletter. Budget status, report budget variance, for example, plus 5% under budget. Fictional detail, current budget utilization, $525,000, variance, plus 4.5%, Progress, milestones achieved, for example, 3 out of 5 major milestones completed. Fictional detail, design phase, 100% complete, fabrication phase, 60% complete. Metrics, customer satisfaction score, for example, 85%, employee satisfaction score, for example, 90%. Fictional detail, customer satisfaction score, 87%, employee satisfaction score, 92%. Daily stand-ups. Tasks, number of tasks completed, for example, 5 tasks completed daily. Fictional detail, 7 tasks completed daily. Blockers, number of issues resolved, for example, 2 blockers addressed. Fictional detail, 3 issues resolved daily. Next steps, upcoming tasks, for example, 10 tasks planned for the next day. Fictional detail, 12 tasks planned for next day. Weekly check-ins. Marketing, number of campaigns launched, for example, 2 campaigns. Fictional detail, 3 campaigns launched. Procurement, number of suppliers secured, for example, 3 suppliers. Fictional detail, 4 suppliers secured. Product development, number of prototypes tested, for example, 4 prototypes. Fictional detail, 5 prototypes tested. By implementing this detailed communication plan, Larry Jeffers Race Cars Company can ensure effective communication, keep all team members and stakeholders informed and engaged, and facilitate the successful completion of the high-performance chassis development project. Detailed summary, communication plan. Development. Types of communication, monthly newsletter, target, key stakeholders. Purpose, provide a status update overview. Daily stand-ups, target, core team. Purpose, report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. Weekly check-ins, target, project subgroups, marketing, procurement, product development. Purpose, discuss subgroup-specific progress and issues. Communication. Recipients, key stakeholders. Core team. Project subgroups. Best practices, contact information, list contact details and time zones. Keep sensitive information private. Adaptation, tailor communication methods to different teams and authority levels. Be concise with executives, focusing on key points and action items. Email effectiveness, add a note at the top for long emails. Team involvement, enable team members to be involved based on their expertise. Communication goals, monthly newsletter, provide a status update overview. Daily stand-ups, report progress updates. Blockers, and determine next steps. Optimizing communications, team check-ins, ensure communications meet team members' needs. Learning styles, consider visual, auditory, and analytical preferences. Feedback, send brief surveys to gather feedback on communication effectiveness. Key elements of a communication plan, who needs to be involved, define participants for each type of communication. Methods of communication, specify delivery methods, email, in-person, virtual meetings, shared documents, progress reports. Purpose of communication, clarify the goals and expected outcomes. Frequency of communication, determine how often each communication occurs. Frequency considerations, senior stakeholders, weekly or monthly high-level updates. Core team, daily or frequent check-ins for detailed updates. Key dates and times, important events, specify dates for product launches, presentations, and other significant events. Recurring communications, list general timing, for example, every Monday. Delivery methods, email. In-person meetings, virtual meetings. Shared documents. Progress reports. Benefits of a communication plan, improves communication effectiveness, streamlines information sharing and reduces misunderstandings. Keeps people engaged and motivated. Regular updates maintain interest and drive. Facilitates effective conversations, enhances discussions with stakeholders by providing clear and consistent information. Best practices for building a communication plan. Detailed communication plan for Larry Jeffers Race Cars Company. Scenario overview. Project, development of a new high-performance chassis for a drag racing car. Objective, complete the chassis development within 6 months, ensuring it meets performance standards, regulatory requirements, and budget constraints. Budget, $550,000. Timeline, 6 months. Types of communication. Monthly newsletter. Target, key stakeholders, executives, sponsors. Purpose, provide a status update overview. Frequency, monthly. Daily stand-ups. Target, core team, engineers, designers, project managers. Purpose, report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. Frequency, daily. Weekly check-ins. Target, project subgroups, marketing, procurement, product development. Purpose, discuss subgroup-specific progress and issues. Frequency, weekly. Communication recipients: key stakeholders, executives, sponsors. Core team, engineers, designers, project managers. Project subgroups, marketing, procurement. Product development best practices contact information, action, list contact details and time zones for all team members. Privacy, keep sensitive information private. Adaptation, tailor methods, customize communication methods to suit different teams and authority levels. Conciseness, be concise with executives, focusing on key points and action items. Email effectiveness, note, add a note at the top for long emails to alert readers about key points. Team involvement, enablement, enable team members to be involved in communications based on their expertise. Communication goals monthly newsletter, goal, provide a status update overview. Example, include updates on project milestones, budget status, and upcoming key dates. Daily stand-ups, goal, report progress updates, blockers, and determine next steps. Example, each team member reports on completed tasks, current challenges, and upcoming tasks. Optimizing communications team check-ins, action, ensure communications meet team members' needs. Example, regularly ask for feedback on the effectiveness of communication methods. Learning styles, consideration, take into account visual, auditory, and analytical preferences. Example, use charts and graphs for visual learners, presentations for auditory learners, and detailed reports for analytical learners. Feedback, surveys, send brief surveys to gather feedback on communication effectiveness. Example, what is working in how we communicate with you about the project? What is not effective? Where can we improve? Key elements of a communication plan: who needs to be involved, participants, define who participates in each type of communication. Example, core team members attend daily stand-ups, while key stakeholders receive monthly newsletters. Methods of communication, delivery methods, specify delivery methods, email, in-person, virtual meetings, shared documents, progress reports. Example, use email for newsletters, in-person or virtual meetings for stand-ups, and shared documents for ongoing task tracking. Purpose of communication, goals, clarify the goals and expected outcomes of each communication type. Example, monthly newsletters aim to update stakeholders on project progress and budget status. Frequency of communication, frequency, determine how often each communication occurs. Example, daily stand-ups for the core team, weekly check-ins for subgroups, monthly newsletters for stakeholders. Frequency considerations, senior stakeholders, updates, weekly or monthly high-level updates. Example, monthly newsletter summarizing key milestones and budget status. Core team, check-ins, daily or frequent check-ins for detailed updates. Example, daily stand-ups to address immediate concerns and progress. Key dates and times, important events, dates, specify dates for product launches, presentations, and other significant events. Example, product launch scheduled for the final week of the project. Recurring communications, timing, list general timing, for example, every Monday. Example, monthly newsletter sent on the first Monday of each month. Delivery methods: email, monthly newsletters, status updates. In-person meetings, daily stand-ups, important milestone reviews. Virtual meetings, weekly check-ins, stakeholder updates. Shared documents, task tracking, collaborative work. Progress reports, detailed project reports for stakeholders. Benefits of a communication plan: improves communication effectiveness, streamlines information sharing and reduces misunderstandings. Keeps people engaged and motivated, regular updates maintain interest and drive. Facilitates effective conversations, enhances discussions with stakeholders by providing clear and consistent information. Example with numerical metrics: monthly newsletter, budget status, report budget variance, for example, plus 5% under budget. Progress, milestones achieved, for example, 3 out of 5 major milestones completed. Metrics, customer satisfaction score, for example, 85%, employee satisfaction score, for example, 90%. Daily stand-ups, tasks, number of tasks completed, for example, 5 tasks completed daily. Blockers, number of issues resolved, for example, 2 blockers addressed. Next steps, upcoming tasks, for example, 10 tasks planned for the next day. Weekly check-ins, marketing, number of campaigns launched, for example, 2 campaigns. Procurement, number of suppliers secured, for example, 3 suppliers. Product development, number of prototypes tested, for example, 4 prototypes. By implementing this detailed communication plan, Larry Jeffers' Race Cars Company can ensure effective communication, keep all team members and stakeholders informed and engaged, and facilitate the successful completion of the high-performance chassis development project. Best practices for building a communication plan. Creating an effective communication plan is essential for ensuring that all stakeholders are informed, engaged, and aligned throughout the project lifecycle. Here are the top tips to keep in mind when developing your communication plan. 1. Identify stakeholders. Create a RACI chart or stakeholder map to identify all relevant stakeholders. Determine who your audience is and who needs to be informed at different stages of the project. Identify stakeholders' roles, responsibilities, and interests. Communication frequency and method. Establish how often you need to check in with each stakeholder group. Determine preferred methods of communication, for example, email, meetings, reports. Assess the level of detail required by each stakeholder. Goals. Clarify the purpose of each communication, for example, update, engagement, decision-making. Decide if you need a response or if the communication is for informational purposes only. Barriers. Consider any time zone differences and plan communication times accordingly. Address language barriers if applicable. Account for stakeholders' availability, especially those who may need more time to respond. Identify any privacy concerns or internet access issues. 2. Document and develop. Choose a tool or template. Use a consistent tool or template to document all communication needs. Include columns for stakeholders, communication methods, goals, and barriers. Add a column for notes. Include a notes column for additional details such as copying relevant people on emails, backup plans for unavailable stakeholders, and reminders. Highlight key details. Use formatting, for example, font color, size, to emphasize crucial information like launch announcements or urgent decisions. Ensure accessibility. Share the communication plan with the team to ensure everyone is aware of the plan and can provide feedback. Make sure the document is easily accessible to all team members. Test your plan. Conduct test runs of communications, such as sending a test email or testing technical aspects of virtual presentations, to minimize issues. 3. Check-in. Routine check-ins. Regularly check in with your audience to gauge the effectiveness of the communication plan. Schedule periodic reviews to ensure the plan is delivering the right information to the right people at the right time. Evaluate and adjust. Use anonymous survey forms, polls, or open feedback sessions to gather input on the communication plan. Conduct one-on-one conversations and check-ins with key stakeholders for more in-depth feedback. Adapt to changes. Continuously monitor for any changes in key stakeholders and update the communication plan accordingly. Adjust the plan if you find areas where you are over or under sharing information or missing stakeholders. By following these best practices, you can create a comprehensive communication plan that effectively manages the flow of information, keeps stakeholders engaged, and supports the successful execution of your project. Introduction. Celebrated 1 year of being self-employed and running a one-person business. Frequently asked about the business model and operations. Sharing insights through a Q&A format to address common questions. Brendan's question: contrast of different models. Traditional in-house, LD team services the organization internally. Traditional outsourcing, former in-house employees provide services to LD teams at other organizations. Own operation model, not a traditional consultant. Main business revolves around the newsletter. Steal these thoughts. Also writes books and occasionally works with select companies. Aligned with the creator economy where the newsletter is the primary product. Rachel's question: focus, fees, and finding clients. Focus, specializes in learning technology. Explains tech concepts to HR and LD professionals. Identified a market gap in this niche. Setting fees vary by project. Evaluates work based on skills, intellectual property, and market value. Finding clients find through the newsletter and social media presence. Built reputation over years by sharing valuable content. Anna Maria's question: balancing different activities. Primary focus, B2C through the newsletter and courses. Directly serves LD professionals. B2B consulting, takes on projects if they are of personal interest. Decision factors, passion for writing and sharing knowledge. Researched other writers and creators for business model insights. Kristen's question: transition from in-house to freelance. Decision to jump, made the leap after building a solid following. Confidence gained from newsletter and social media presence. Biggest obstacles, Managing all business aspects solo, for example, taxes, invoicing. Preparation, years of building a newsletter and gaining credibility through corporate roles. Tested the waters with side projects. Made a calculated decision based on substantial groundwork. Conclusion: provided clarity on running a one-person business in the LD space. Emphasized the uniqueness of each individual's journey. Encouraged finding personal alignment with skills and passions. Expressed hope that the answers give a better understanding of different paths available. Assessment of exemplar. Compare the exemplar to your completed deliverable. Review your work using each of the criteria in the exemplar. What did you do well? Where can you improve? Use your answers to these questions to guide you as you continue to progress through the course. Note, your communication plan may differ from this exemplar. That's because communication types, frequency, and delivery methods can change depending on the situation, schedules, personal preference, etc. What should always be consistent is your attention to your stakeholders' roles, needs, and communication styles. Learning about your team is crucial to creating an effective communication plan. Let's examine how the different parts of the scenario fit into the communication plan. Planning meetings with the core team. Since the core team is directly involved in planning and executing the trainings, you want to meet with them daily and in person. The goal is to check in with each member about their progress, troubleshoot any issues, and make sure everyone stays on track. Your manager can also be a planning resource, so you make sure to schedule the team meetings later in the day than your weekly meeting with your manager. You make a note to check in with your manager with questions and link to the meeting agendas and notes. Software equipment vendor. Since your HR specialist and training manager will plan and run the trainings, they will both need to meet with the vendor. They allow a half day for this meeting, which will give them time to go over the training manual and ask follow-up questions. You link to the vendor's statement of work and make a note to remind the HR specialist and training manager to check in with relevant team members after the meeting. Human resources. Your HR specialist owns communications with the HR department, and checks in with them weekly and in person for project planning assistance. Since HR will also provide support during trainings, you'll want to send them reminder emails as well. You note that more communications will likely be necessary on an as-needed basis. Planning check-ins with facilities. Facilities needs to know the training schedule and requirements, but does not need daily updates. The administrative coordinator checks in with them weekly over the phone, but could also meet with them in person. You link to the forms you need to request rooms and equipment for the training sessions. Planning check-ins with the print shop. The print shop needs to know the details of the event, but you may not need to check in with them every day. The initial planning meeting is the most important, after which weekly check-ins, over the phone or in person, will suffice. Your administrative coordinator takes care of these communications. You link to the printing request forms you will use to order the training manuals. Informational updates for office green employees. You want to communicate with the trainees consistently so they remember when to arrive, where to go, and what to bring. Your training manager sends a group email from an official Office Green account each week and sends a reminder the day before each group's training session. That's a lot of messages to keep track of, so you make a note for the training manager to automate the reminder emails. Training for Office Green employees. The training manager will also run the in-person trainings, which are scheduled each day for 10 days, beginning at 10:00 a.m. You make sure to link to the training schedule, so that it's easily accessible. Survey for Office Green employees. Once the training sessions are complete, the training manager will send the trainees a survey via email, with 2 follow-up reminders. You make a note to discuss the results at the next team meeting. Status update with your manager. Since your manager wants to be kept informed of your progress, you decide to update them at your weekly, in-person meeting. You make a note to come prepared with a brief update and specific questions for your manager. Status update with senior leaders. Since the Director of Operations and the Director of Product want to know how the trainings went, you send them an email update, and CC your manager, once they have concluded. You link to the resources you'll need to create your report. Key lessons from Stanford Business School, applied to Feathered Fury Grassroots Racing Association 1. Strategy, Porter's 5 Forces Feathered Fury Grassroots Racing Association Analysis. Competition, assess the strength of competitors. Scenario example, Feathered Fury competes with other grassroots racing organizations like Street Outlaws and No Prep Kings. Analyze the competition based on the number of participants, audience size, sponsorship deals, and event popularity. Numerical metrics, number of competitors, 5 major organizations, audience size, 50,000 attendees annually, sponsorship deals, $1.5 million per year, substitutes, evaluate the presence of alternative products. Scenario example, consider substitutes like professional drag racing events, car shows, and virtual racing leagues. Numerical metrics, alternative events attendance, 30,000 annually, virtual racing league participation, 20,000 active users, new entrants, determine the likelihood of new competitors. Scenario example, assess barriers to entry such as capital investment, brand loyalty, and regulatory requirements. Numerical metrics, initial investment required, $500,000 brand loyalty score, 85 100ths regulatory compliance cost, $50,000 buyer power, understand the negotiating power of customers. Scenario example, analyze the influence of race participants and spectators on pricing and event quality. Numerical metrics, average ticket price, $30 participant entry fee, $150 customer satisfaction rate, 90% supplier power, consider the influence of suppliers. Scenario example, evaluate the power of suppliers providing race equipment, cars, and track facilities. Numerical metrics, number of key suppliers, 10 average cost of race equipment, $100,000 per event, track rental cost, $20,000 per event. 2. Example, competitive analysis of Feathered Fury Grassroots Racing Association competition, faces strong rivals like Street Outlaws, No Prep Kings. Substitutes, alternative options include professional drag racing events and virtual racing. New entrants, low threat due to high initial investment and strong brand loyalty. Buyer power, participants and spectators have moderate negotiating power due to event exclusivity. Supplier power, Feathered Fury scale allows for negotiating favorable terms with suppliers. 3. Developing a competitive advantage brand, build a recognizable and emotionally resonant brand. Scenario example, Feathered Fury positions itself as the premier grassroots racing event, emphasizing community and excitement. Numerical metrics, brand awareness score, 75 100ths annual marketing budget, $250,000 economies of scale, achieve efficiency by scaling up production. Scenario example, Feathered Fury expands to multiple locations to increase revenue and reduce per event costs. Numerical metrics, number of events, 10 per year, average cost per event, $100,000 total revenue, $2 million cost. Leadership, compete by offering lower prices. Scenario example, Feathered Fury reduces ticket prices to attract a larger audience. Numerical metrics, ticket price reduction, 10% attendance increase, 20% revenue impact, plus $200,000. Innovation, disrupt markets with novel products. Scenario example, introduce a new racing format with electric and hybrid muscle cars. Numerical metrics, new format participation, 50 cars, audience interest increase, 15% network effects, increase value as more users join. Scenario example, launch a digital platform for community engagement and race tracking. Numerical metrics, platform users, 10,000 engagement rate, 80%. 4. Product development, problem solving, start by addressing a specific customer problem. Scenario example, address the need for affordable racing events for amateur racers. Numerical metrics, average participant cost, $500, number of amateur racers, 200. Iteration, continuously improve the product based on customer feedback. Scenario example, implement feedback from participants to enhance race experience. Numerical metrics, customer satisfaction increase, 10% repeat participants, 75%. 5. Marketing ideal customer profile, ICP, define and target a specific customer segment. Scenario example, target car enthusiasts aged 18-35 with a passion for grassroots racing. Numerical metrics, target audience size, 100,000. Marketing conversion rate, 5%. Channel strategy, reach customers through the most effective channels. Scenario example, use social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube for promotions. Numerical metrics, social media followers, 50,000. Engagement rate, 25%. 6. Financial analysis, revenue, measure how much money the business brings in. Scenario example, track income from ticket sales, sponsorships, and merchandise. Numerical metrics, annual revenue, $2.5 million. Ticket sales, $1.2 million. Sponsorships, $1 million. Merchandise, $300,000. Costs, track expenses. Scenario example, monitor costs related to event organization, marketing, and operations. Numerical metrics, annual costs, $1.8 million. Event costs, $1 million. Marketing expenses, $400,000. Operational costs, $400,000. Profit, calculate profit by subtracting costs from revenue. Scenario example, Determine net profit after all expenses. Numerical metrics, annual profit, $700,000 profit margin, 28%. Applying these concepts to Feathered Fury Grassroots Racing Association. Analyze company's Feathered Fury's competitive position. Numerical metrics, competitors analyzed, 5 brand awareness, 75 100ths market share, 20%. Build business's foundation of Feathered Fury. Numerical metrics, initial investment, $500,000 annual growth rate, 10% customer satisfaction, 90% invest smartly. Financial health of Feathered Fury. Numerical metrics, annual revenue, $2.5 million. Annual costs, $1.8 million. Net profit, $700,000. Practical example, Feathered Fury financial statements evaluation. Numerical metrics. Revenue from ticket sales, $1.2 million. Sponsorship revenue, $1 million. Merchandise revenue, $300,000. Total costs, $1.8 million. Net profit, $700,000. By mastering these principles and applying them with detailed, measurable, and specific numerical metrics, Feathered Fury Grassroots Racing Association can build a successful business and make informed decisions to sustain growth and competitiveness in the racing industry. Additional fictional details with numerical specifics. Scenario example, classic muscle cars in 4.50 index in the 1/8 mile. Event details. Number of events, 10 per year. Average participants per event, 100. Registration fee per participant, $150. Total participant revenue per event, $15,000. Average ticket price for spectators, $30. Average attendance per event, 2,000. Total ticket revenue per event, $60,000. Sponsorship revenue per event, $150,000. Event costs. Track rental cost, $20,000 per event. Prize money, $50,000 per event. Marketing expenses, $25,000 per event. Operational costs, $20,000 per event. Total event costs, $115,000. Annual financials. Total participant revenue, $150,000. Total ticket revenue, $600,000. Total sponsorship revenue, $1.5 million. Total annual revenue, $2.25 million. Total annual costs, $1.15 million. Annual profit, $1.1 million. Profit margin, 48.9%. Customer engagement. Social media followers, 75,000. Engagement rate, 30%. Email subscribers, 20,000. Conversion rate for event participation, 10%. By integrating these fictional details and numerical metrics into the strategic planning and analysis, Feathered Fury Grassroots Racing Association can achieve a comprehensive understanding of its competitive landscape, develop a strong competitive advantage, and ensure sustained financial success. Here's the breakdown of the key points from the scratch paper in a structured manner. Key lessons from Stanford Business School. 1. Strategy, Porter's 5 forces. Competition, assess the strength of competitors. Substitutes, evaluate the presence of alternative products. New entrants, determine the likelihood of new competitors. Buyer power, understand the negotiating power of customers. Supplier power, consider the influence of suppliers. 2. Example, Apple's competitive analysis. Competition, faces strong rivals like Samsung, Google, Microsoft. Substitutes, numerous high-quality alternatives. New entrants, low threat due to ecosystem lock-in and scale. Buyer power, customers are less likely to switch due to integrated ecosystem. Supplier power, Apple's volume allows for negotiating favorable terms. 3. Developing a competitive advantage. Brand, build a recognizable and emotionally resonant brand. Economies of scale, achieve efficiency by scaling up production. Cost leadership, compete by offering lower prices. Innovation, disrupt markets with novel products, for example, Tesla. Network effects, increase value as more users join, for example, social media platforms. 4. Product development. Problem solving, start by addressing a specific customer problem. Iteration, continuously improve the product based on customer feedback. Example, Amazon's growth from an online bookstore to a global e-commerce giant. 5. Marketing. Ideal customer profile, ICP, define and target a specific customer segment. Channel strategy, reach customers through the most effective channels, for example, Instagram for young mums. 6. Financial analysis. Revenue, measure how much money the business brings in. Costs, track expenses. Profit, calculate profit by subtracting costs from revenue. Applying these concepts, analyze companies, use the framework to assess companies like Apple or Starbucks. Build businesses. Create a strong foundation by focusing on strategy, product, and marketing. Invest smartly. Understand financial statements to make informed investment decisions. Practical example, Starbucks financial statements. Use them to evaluate the company's financial health and future prospects. By mastering these principles, you can gain insights equivalent to a business school education and apply them to build successful companies and make informed investment decisions. In this video, I'm going to show you a method to go really deep into Reddit to find sub-niches you would never have thought of. This can help you either sell your existing product to new markets or find specific problems and niches to create new solutions. Instead of conducting a complete market research session, which would be very lengthy, I'll walk you through the steps so you can do it yourself. Here are the steps we'll follow. Research and discovery. Step 1. We use tools like ChatGPT or Claude to generate different ideas to start the research. Step 2. We use a tool like Daenerys, or a similar one, to find hidden subreddits within other subreddits. Step 3. We use subreddit stats to gain insights about a specific subreddit. Step 4. We look at Amazon, Google Trends, and other tools like GigaBrain and XR for further insights. Quick validation. Amazon Books. Search for books related to your niche to see if there's a market. Google Trends. Use this to check if interest in the topic is growing. Glimpse. A Chrome extension that provides search volume data directly in Google Trends. Deep analysis. GigaBrain. A tool that uses AI to analyze Reddit posts and summarize insights. Meta Ads Library. Check what ads are currently running to see what products are being marketed. XR. A new AI tool that searches based on the meaning of your research, providing deeper insights. Let's start with the first step, research and discovery. Step 1. Using ChatGPT or Claude first, we'll use a prompt to get ideas for keywords related to a product. Here's an example prompt. CSS copy code given a quick description of my product. Come up with keywords I can use to kickstart my research in ways I would not have thought of. We can then use these keywords to explore Reddit and find relevant subreddits. Step 2. Using NNA helps find subreddits related to our keywords. For example, if our product is related to chronic pain, we can find subreddits like R, chronic pain, R, sciatica, and R, back pain. We can explore these subreddits to find more specific niches within them. Step 3. Using subreddit stats. After identifying a potential subreddit, we use subreddit stats to check its growth and activity. This helps us understand if the subreddit is growing and if there's an active community. Step 4. Amazon and Google Trends. Amazon Books. Search for books on the topic to see how many books exist and how well they are selling. Google Trends. Analyze search trends to see if interest in the topic is growing. Use the Glimpse extension to get search volume data. Quick validation example. Let's take migraine as our example. We search for migraine on Amazon Books and Google Trends. On Amazon Books, we check the number of books and their reviews to gauge interest. On Google Trends, we look at the trend over time and use Glimpse to see the search volume. Deep analysis with GigaBrain and XR. GigaBrain. This tool analyzes Reddit posts and summarizes key insights using AI. It helps us find unique problems and discussions related to a niche. XR. This new AI tool goes beyond keyword matching to understand the concepts behind your search. It provides results based on the meaning of your queries. Meta Ads Library. We can use the Meta Ads Library to see what ads are running for products related to a niche. This helps us understand the competitive landscape and marketing strategies. Final steps. After gathering all this information, we analyze the data to identify opportunities for our product or new product ideas. We can validate these ideas by looking at market statistics using tools like Gini or Perplexity. By following these steps, you can conduct deep market research on Reddit, validate your ideas, and find new opportunities for your products. Let's dive into each tool and method in more detail in the video. 14 steps outlined for planning a project. Understand project purpose. Identify what the project sponsor, boss, wants. Determine if it addresses a problem or opportunity. Clarify the desired outcome. Develop project charter. Create a document outlining project objectives, justification, scope, budget, key dependencies, assumptions, stakeholders, and milestones. Review and obtain approval from the sponsor. Identify stakeholders. List all individuals and groups impacted by or influencing the project. Assess their interests, involvement, and potential impact on the project. Prepare project management plan. Gather input from stakeholders to develop detailed plans for various project aspects, scope, schedule, budget, resources, etc. Ensure alignment with project objectives. Collect requirements. Gather and document conditions, capabilities, constraints, and expectations from stakeholders. Include quality, safety, communication, and resource requirements. Develop scope statement. Expand on the project charter to define project deliverables, objectives, and exclusions clearly. Align scope statement with requirements and obtain sponsor approval. Create work breakdown structure, WBS. Decompose project deliverables into manageable tasks and subtasks. Organize WBS to reflect project hierarchy and dependencies. Identify resources. Determine human, material, and equipment resources needed for each WBS task. Negotiate with department heads for resource allocation. Develop project schedule. Sequence tasks, estimate durations, and establish dependencies using tools like Microsoft Project or Primavera. Validate estimates and adjust based on stakeholder input. Establish project budget. Estimate costs for resources, materials, and activities. Develop a funding schedule and cash flow analysis. Align budget with project scope and schedule. Identify risks. Identify potential threats to project objectives, such as delays, resource shortages, or technical challenges. Consider external factors and stakeholder behaviors. Mitigate risks. Develop strategies to reduce the probability or impact of identified risks. Options include avoidance, transfer, mitigation, or acceptance based on risk assessment. Update project management plan. Incorporate risk mitigation actions and adjustments into the project plan. Revise scope, schedule, and budget baselines accordingly. Review and gain approval. Present the updated project plan to the sponsor for review and approval. Obtain sign-off on scope, schedule, and cost baselines. Confirm understanding and support from stakeholders. These steps provide a structured approach to project planning, ensuring clarity, alignment with objectives, and proactive risk management throughout the project lifecycle. Scenario 1, Project Planning and Work Breakdown Structure, WBS, Project Name, Turbocharged Dragster Upgrade Project. Objective, to enhance the performance of a client's dragster by installing a new turbocharging system. Key metrics. Schedule performance, ASP, achieve a 10% reduction in project duration compared to similar previous projects. Actual cost performance, ACP, maintain a budget variance within ±5% of the allocated $100,000 budget. Earned value, F, achieve at least 70% completion of planned tasks by the end of the second month. Details. Initiation phase, define project scope, objectives, and key stakeholders. Develop a project charter and obtain client approval. Metric, complete project charter within 2 weeks, achieving client sign-off. Planning phase, create a detailed WBS using Microsoft Project. Metric, develop WBS with at least 4 levels of hierarchy, identifying 100% of project deliverables within 3 weeks. Execution phase, begin installation of turbocharging system according to WBS schedule. Metric, start installation within 4 weeks of project initiation, aligning with schedule milestones. Scenario 2, Quality Metrics and Project Integration. Project Name, Nitrous Oxide Injection System Development. Objective, design and prototype a new nitrous oxide injection system for Larry Jeffers race cars proprietary drag racing vehicles. Key metrics. Quality metrics, achieve a 95% success rate in prototype testing, meeting or exceeding design specifications. Project integration, develop a comprehensive project management plan, PMP, integrating all planning processes. Customer satisfaction, achieve a customer satisfaction score of 90% or higher based on post-project feedback. Details. Initiation phase, conduct stakeholder analysis and define project scope and objectives. Metric, complete stakeholder analysis and scope definition within 2 weeks, aligning with stakeholder expectations. Planning phase, define quality metrics for prototype testing and integrate into the PMP. Metric, finalize PMP including quality metrics within 4 weeks, ensuring alignment with project scope and objectives. Execution phase, prototype development and testing of nitrous oxide injection system. Metric, complete prototype development and initial testing within 8 weeks, adhering to planned schedule and quality standards. Scenario 3, Project Execution and the Monitoring. Project Name, Carbon Fiber Body Panel Production Optimization. Objective, Optimize the production process for carbon fiber body panels to reduce manufacturing costs by 15%. Key metrics. Cost management. Achieve a 15% reduction in manufacturing costs compared to previous production cycles. Productivity. Increase production output by 20% without compromising quality. Employee satisfaction. Maintain an employee satisfaction score of 85% or higher during project execution. Details. Initiation phase. Identify key stakeholders and establish project goals. Metric. Complete stakeholder identification and goal setting within 2 weeks, aligning with company objectives. Planning phase. Develop a detailed project schedule and resource allocation plan using Microsoft Project. Metric. Finalize project schedule and resource plan within 3 weeks, ensuring alignment with cost reduction objectives. Execution phase. Implement process improvements and monitor production metrics. Metric. Achieve a 10% reduction in manufacturing costs within the first 4 weeks of implementation. Monitoring phase. Conduct regular performance reviews and adjust strategies as needed. Metric. Maintain productivity increase of 20% throughout the project duration, ensuring sustainable improvements. These scenarios illustrate how Larry Jeffers race cars can apply project management principles, including WBS creation, quality metrics definition, and effective execution and monitoring. Each scenario incorporates specific, measurable metrics to track project progress and success, ensuring alignment with organizational goals and client expectations. Project manager interview. Red flags to avoid: unclear role and responsibilities. Red flag: hiring manager can't clearly explain the role and responsibilities. Impact: leads to confusion, stress, and feeling overwhelmed. Reasoning: you need a clear understanding of your duties to succeed and lead projects effectively. Workaholic culture. Red flag: interviewers hint at or openly discuss an expectation of working long hours and wearing multiple hats. Impact: leads to burnout and dissatisfaction. Reasoning: a healthy work-life balance is crucial for long-term job satisfaction. High turnover rate. Red flag: the position or department has a high turnover rate. Impact: indicates potential issues like overwork, poor management, or a toxic work environment. Reasoning: frequent departures can signal deeper problems within the company or department. Inadequate positive feedback. Red flag: interviewers can't provide a good answer to why they like working at the company. Impact: suggests a lack of genuine enthusiasm or satisfaction among current employees. Reasoning: a positive work culture is essential for motivation and engagement. Additional tips: community engagement. Encourage sharing experiences to build a supportive community. Interview observations. During in-person interviews, observe if employees look energized or exhausted. Interviewer insight. Ask interviewers how long they've been with the company to gauge stability and satisfaction. Bonus. Red flag: lack of genuine positives. Red flag: interviewers only mention superficial benefits like short commute or free snacks. Impact: indicates a lack of substantial positive aspects about the company. Reasoning: look for deeper cultural and operational strengths in a potential employer. Final advice: two-way street. Remember that interviewing is mutual. Ensure the company is a good fit for your professional and personal needs. Comprehensive evaluation. Consider the overall package, not just the salary, when evaluating job offers. Call to action: like and engage. Engage with the content and share your experiences in the comments to support and learn from each other. Download resources. Use available resources like interview cheat sheets to prepare effectively. Next steps: watch recommended video. Learn how to answer common interview questions to increase your chances of landing the job. By keeping these red flags in mind, you can make a more informed decision about accepting a job offer and ensure a positive and fulfilling work experience. A life after layoff. Introduction. Everyone makes career mistakes. Mistakes are often learned the hard way. Sharing common career mistakes to help others avoid them. Personal experiences and observations form the basis of the advice. Mistake 1. Early critical mistake. Realize critical mistakes much later in the career. Examples include, staying in a job too long, not responding to recruiters, accepting a job not suited for you, missing relocation opportunities. Hindsight reveals missteps that affect long-term career progression. Career coaching often identifies these early mistakes. Mistake 2. Loyalty rarely pays off. Staying loyal to a company or leader can hinder career progression. Example, waiting for a senior leader to retire but they don't. Market and peers progress while you stay stagnant. Result, falling behind in responsibility, level, and compensation. Mistake 3. Hard work doesn't lead to promotions. Long hours and hard work don't guarantee promotions. Working smart and on visible projects is more important. Example, working hard for a workaholic boss without recognition. Result, plant shut down, leading to job search. Focus on projects that matter to senior leadership. Advocate for yourself to the right people, often your boss's boss. Mistake 4, overemphasis on specific skills. Being very good at a specific skill can be a disadvantage if it's not relevant. Employers value skills until they don't need them anymore. Skills should be relevant and in demand by multiple employers. Avoid settling for low-quality jobs that diminish your resume value. Mistake 5, short-lived goodwill. Goodwill from past achievements is short-lived. Employers focus on current and future contributions. Layoffs often surprise those who believe they have built goodwill. Act like a free agent and prioritize your career over employer loyalty. Conclusion: always look out for yourself first in your career. Develop necessary skills and advocate for yourself. Free newsletter and one-on-one coaching available for career strategy. Avoid the school of hard knocks by learning from others' experiences. The value of project documentation. The value of project documentation. Example with Larry Jeffers race cars. Centralized storage scenario. At Larry Jeffers race cars, multiple teams work on different aspects of a new dragster model: design, engineering, quality assurance, and marketing. Centralization. All project documents, such as design blueprints, testing reports, and marketing plans, are stored in a centralized digital repository. Benefits: facilitates quick retrieval of documents by any team member. Enhances communication and streamlines processes by having one repository for all documents. Organization scenario. Each department at Larry Jeffers race cars organizes their documents into clearly labeled folders: design drafts, testing reports, marketing plans. Benefits: clear labeling and folder organization. Improve document accessibility. Reduces duplicate work and optimizes workflow, especially for geographically dispersed teams. Visibility and accountability scenario. The project plan for the new dragster includes tasks like wind tunnel testing assigned to the engineering team, with a due date of July 15. Benefits: assigns tasks with owners and due dates, creating visibility and accountability. Allows team members and stakeholders to reference project plans for updates on timelines and milestones. Permissions management scenario. Access to financial projections for the new dragster is restricted to senior management, while summary reports are shared with the entire project team. Benefits: controls access to sensitive documents, granting permissions based on roles. Summarizes relevant information for non-core team members to keep them informed without overloading them with details. Continuity scenario. If the project manager for the dragster project needs to take a leave of absence, the centralized documentation allows a new project manager to step in seamlessly. Benefits: ensures project continuity in case of sudden absence of the project manager. Centralized, well-documented plans enable new project managers to seamlessly take over. Knowledge management scenario. The project plan and decisions made during the development of previous dragster models are documented for future reference. Benefits: facilitates future reference for decision-making and planning similar projects. Helps new project managers understand the context of past decisions to make informed choices. Sharing appropriate information scenario. Marketing needs to know the final design of the dragster but doesn't need the detailed engineering reports. Benefits: determines what information to share with whom and when, based on roles and needs. Avoids overloading stakeholders with unnecessary details, focusing on key information. Sensitive data management scenario. Testing data includes proprietary information about the dragster's performance. Only the engineering team has access to the raw data, while summarized results are shared with other teams. Benefits: handles sensitive data, such as financial information or with care. Shares summarized, non-sensitive results with broader teams to maintain confidentiality. Communication efficiency scenario. Daily updates are sent to the core project team, while weekly summaries are provided to senior stakeholders. Benefits: prevents unnecessary updates that could overwhelm stakeholders. Ensures the right information reaches the right people at the right time. Example scenario. For a high-profile launch of a new dragster, only the final design and the marketing materials are shared with the broader team, while the detailed development process is restricted to the core team. Benefits: protects sensitive project plans and company data from unauthorized access. Prevents leaks and oversharing classified data. Practical example scenario. User feedback surveys from test drivers, containing PIC, are only accessible to the project manager and the engineering team. Benefits: summarized survey results, excluding P, are presented to the broader team for analysis and improvements. Conclusion: understanding the importance of documentation in project management ensures better communication, organization, and project success. Proper documentation helps streamline processes, maintain continuity, and manage sensitive data effectively, setting the stage for successful project execution. Next, we will explore how to put together and stay organized with your project plan. Stay tuned. The value of project documentation and its importance in project management. Centralized storage centralizes plans and reports for easy access. Facilitates quick retrieval of necessary documents by any team member. Enhances communication and streamlines processes by having one repository for all documents. Organization, clear labeling and folder organization improve document accessibility. Reduces duplicate work and optimizes workflow, especially for geographically dispersed teams. Visibility and accountability, assigns tasks with owners and due dates, creating visibility and accountability. Allows team members and stakeholders to reference project plans for updates on timelines and milestones. Permissions management, controls access to sensitive documents, granting permissions based on roles. Summarizes relevant information for non-core team members to keep them informed without overloading them with details. Continuity, ensures project continuity in case of sudden absence of the project manager. Centralized, well-documented plans enable new project managers to seamlessly take over. Knowledge management, facilitates future reference for decision-making and planning similar projects. Helps new project managers understand the context of past decisions to make informed choices. Sharing appropriate information, determines what information to share with whom and when, based on roles and needs. Avoids overloading stakeholders with unnecessary details, focusing on key information. Sensitive data management, handles sensitive data, such as financial information or PIN, with care. Shares summarized, non-sensitive results with broader teams to maintain confidentiality. Communication efficiency, prevents unnecessary updates that could overwhelm stakeholders. Ensures the right information reaches the right people at the right time. Example scenario, involves high-profile product launches where sharing only the final design with relevant stakeholders prevents leaks. Protects sensitive project plans and company data from unauthorized access. Practical example, user feedback surveys containing PIN are shared only with approved team members. Summarized survey results are presented without PIN for broader team access. Understanding the importance of documentation in project management ensures better communication, organization, and project success. Next, we'll explore how to put together and stay organized with your project plan. See you later. What are the benefits of keeping project plan documents in one centralized place? Select all that apply. A. Provide visibility and accountability. B. Share all parts of the plan with the full project team. C. Show continuous improvements as the project progresses. D. Ensure continuity if a new project manager joins the team. The benefits of keeping project plan documents in one centralized place include: A. Provide visibility and accountability. Correct keeping the project plan in one place makes documents accessible and creates accountability for tasks. D. Ensure continuity if a new project manager joins the team. Correct keeping project plans in one place helps new project managers find what they need to keep the project moving. Organizing project documentation. Fictional scenario example, Larry Jeffers Race Cars Project Overview. Project name, Larry Jeffers Race Cars, new dragster development objective, develop a new alcohol dragster that meets performance, quality, and regulatory requirements within a budget of $550,000. Centralized storage example, create project folder, folder name, new dragster development subfolders, budget RASI chart, risk management plan, communications plan, centralized planning document example, create a central document, document name, new dragster development, central plan, linked resources, budget spreadsheet, link to budget spreadsheet, RASI chart, link to RASI chart, risk management plan, link to risk management plan, communications plan, link to communications plan, spreadsheet organization example, master spreadsheet, tabs, overview, budget, risk management, communications overview, dashboard sheet, description. This project aims to develop a new alcohol dragster with a focus on performance, quality, and regulatory compliance within a $550,000 budget. Usage instructions, use the tabs to navigate to specific sections of the project. Links to non-spreadsheet files are provided within each tab. Communication expectations, weekly updates will be provided every Monday. Key milestones and deadlines are highlighted in the Communications tab. Benefits in scenario, improves accessibility, All project documents are linked in the central document, reducing search time. Team members can quickly find what they need in the master spreadsheet. Streamlines workflow. Clear organization of folders and subfolders optimizes workflow. Easily accessible tabs in the master spreadsheet facilitate coordination. Enhances communication. Centralized access points prevent miscommunication. Regular updates and clear communication expectations ensure everyone stays informed. By organizing project documentation using these methods, the project team at Larry Jeffers Race Cars can manage the new Dragster development project effectively, ensuring smooth operations, clear communication, and efficient access to necessary information. Importance and techniques. Importance of organization: facilitates quick and easy access to project information. Eliminates confusion and ensures everyone is on the same page. Enhances communication and efficiency. Centralized storage. Shared file drive, example, Google Drive. Create a new folder labeled with the project name. Store all project files in this main folder. Create subfolders within the main folder for better organization. Centralized planning document. Centralized document/spreadsheet, link all project files and resources in one document for quick reference. Include frequently accessed files to streamline navigation. Example setup: creating a project folder, label the folder with the project name. Store all related documents in this folder. Organize with subfolders as needed, for example, budget, RASI chart, risk management plan, communications plan. Linking files in a central document. Create a document or spreadsheet. Link each resource, for example, budget, RASI chart, directly within this document. This document serves as a quick reference guide. Using spreadsheets. Grouping information: if using multiple spreadsheets, group them within one master sheet. Create tabs for each separate sheet containing project information. Example, a single sheet with tabs for budget, risk management, communications, etc. Overview. Dashboard sheet. Include an overview or dashboard sheet in the master spreadsheet. Provide a brief project description, usage instructions, and communication expectations. Link any non-spreadsheet files within this sheet for comprehensive access. Benefits. Improves accessibility. All project resources are linked and accessible from a single document or folder. Reduces the need to search through multiple locations. Streamlines workflow. Clear organization aids in the quick retrieval of documents. Facilitates better coordination among team members. Enhances communication. Centralized access points prevent miscommunication and misunderstandings. Ensures all team members have the information they need. By following these steps and using these techniques, project managers can organize project documentation effectively, making it easier for everyone involved to access necessary information quickly and efficiently. This approach is versatile and can be applied to various project management styles and systems. Objective 1. Enhance operational efficiency and event excellence. Key results. Implement streamlined event planning process. Develop and document the standardized event planning process with detailed workflows and timelines by the end of Q3. Train all event team members on the new process to ensure 100% adoption and proficiency by Q4. Achieve a 20% reduction in event planning time compared to the average time spent in the previous year, from 4 weeks per event to 3.2 weeks per event by year-end. Optimize budget management. Conduct a comprehensive review of historical event budgets and establish a revised budget template by the end of Q2. Implement cost-saving measures such as renegotiating vendor contracts and optimizing resource allocation to achieve a 15% reduction in event costs by Q4. Maintain all events within budget, with no more than a 5% variance in expenses per event. Enhance participant experience. Conduct quarterly participant surveys after each event to gather feedback on key experience metrics like satisfaction, facilities, and race conditions. Implement 2 major participant experience improvements identified through surveys, such as upgraded facilities and enhanced spectator amenities, by Q3. Achieve a 10% increase in overall participant satisfaction scores, measured through post-event surveys, from 85% to 95% by Q4. Strengthen vendor relationships. Review existing vendor contracts and negotiate improved terms with key vendors by the end of Q2, aiming for extended service agreements and cost reductions. Increase vendor retention rate by 15% by Q4 through enhanced communication channels and mutual benefit agreements. Secure partnerships with 2 new vendors specializing in event technology and hospitality services by Q3 to diversify event offerings. Objective 2. Expand event reach and engagement. Key results. Develop comprehensive marketing strategy. Launch a targeted digital marketing campaign focused on increasing event registrations through social media, email marketing, and online advertising by Q3. Achieve a 25% increase in event registration numbers compared to the previous year, from 1,000 to 1,250 registrations by year-end. Drive a 30% growth in social media engagement metrics related to event promotion, measured by likes, shares, and comments on event posts, by Q4. Enhance media coverage and exposure. Secure partnerships for event coverage with at least 3 new media outlets, including online blogs, local TV channels, and automotive magazines, by Q3. Increase media mentions and coverage of events by 50% compared to the previous year, from 20 mentions to 30 mentions in various media outlets by Q4. Host a press conference or media event in Q2 to announce upcoming events, new partnerships, and major initiatives, ensuring maximum media exposure. Expand sponsorship portfolio. Develop a comprehensive sponsorship prospectus outlining tailored benefits and opportunities for sponsors, including branding opportunities, VIP experiences, and digital advertising by Q2. Secure sponsorship agreements with at least 3 new sponsors from automotive brands and local businesses by Q3. Increase sponsorship revenue by 20% compared to the previous year, from $100,000 to $120,000 in total sponsorship revenue by year-end. These detailed OKRs are designed to leverage JJDA expertise in event management and strategic planning, focusing on measurable outcomes to elevate the standards and success of arm-drop events. Each key result is crafted to align with JJ's goals of enhancing operational efficiency, expanding event reach, and delivering exceptional participant experiences while driving growth in sponsorship and media exposure. OKRs for personal and professional development. As you prepare for a new career in project management, it's also a great time to set some personal OKRs, objectives and key results, to track your progress towards achieving your own personal goals. OKR review. OKR stands for Objectives and Key Results. They combine a goal and a metric to determine a measurable outcome. Objective. Key results. Defines what needs to be achieved. The measurable outcomes that objectively define when the objective has been met. Describes a desired outcome. Benefits of setting personal OKRs. Many of us set New Year's resolutions each year, only to find that by February, we are not much closer to accomplishing those goals than we were on January 1st. Setting personal OKRs is a strategy that can help you define clear, measurable goals for yourself and create an action plan for achieving them. Just like with company or project-level OKRs, setting personal OKRs can turn vague and ambiguous goals into quantifiable and measurable metrics. Whether it's a personal fitness goal, a desire to spend more time with your family, or a goal to complete this certificate program, setting personal OKRs for these goals can make it easier to track their progress and determine when you've achieved them. Write your own OKRs. Follow the steps outlined below to help you craft your own personal OKRs. You can use this OKR template, or if you don't have a Google account, you can download the template directly from the attachment below. Define your why before you start on your objective. So your what. Consider your why. This is your mission. Why are you setting goals? For example, if you have a goal to complete this course, why is that important to you? Write that down and use it to inspire and focus your objectives. Determine your what. Brainstorm possible objectives. Now that you have a clear sense of why these goals are important to you, you can start drafting your objectives. Think about the things you most want or need to accomplish in the next 30 to 90 days. To help you generate a list of possible objectives, consider the following. What are the most important things I need to get done? What do I need to take action on? What do I need to start doing or changing? What do I want to improve or work on in my life or career? Based on your responses to these questions, brainstorm a list of 3 to 5 possible objectives that relate to your mission. Refine your objectives. Review your list of possible objectives and revise them to make sure they meet the following criteria. Aspirational. Is the objective inspiring and motivational? Does it ask you to challenge yourself and accomplish something you haven't before? Aligned with organizational goals. In this case, you are the organization, so your objectives should align with the mission you defined earlier. Does the objective help you in achieving your overall goals? Action-oriented. Does the objective indicate making a change or taking action? Concrete. Is the objective clearly stated? Would someone else understand what the objective is hoping to accomplish? Significant. Will achieving the objective make a significant impact toward your personal or professional development? Mission. Be an ideal candidate for promotion or hire. Objective. Deliver engaging presentations. Objective. Increase my work pace. Objective, learn new skills and practices beyond the job description. Develop the how next. It's time to add key results, which describe how you'll achieve your objective. They also define what it means to successfully meet your objective. Draft and refine your key results working with one objective at a time. Brainstorm a list of 2 to 5 key results. To help you generate your list, consider the following. How would you define success for this objective? What metrics would prove that you've successfully achieved the objective? Once you have a few key results, review and revise them so they meet the following criteria. Results-oriented, not a task. Do the key results state the overall outcome, rather than individual steps to get there? Measurable and verifiable. Do the key results include specific, objective metrics? Specific and time-bound. Have you clearly defined what needs to happen and by when? Aggressive yet realistic. Do the stated results stretch you but still account for potential challenges or unexpected events that could arise? Key results. Attend a public speaking workshop by the end of the first quarter. Watch at least one TED Talk per week. Deliver one presentation every 2 months and collect feedback. Key results. Block out 90 minutes each day to work on top priority tasks. Delegate items to other team members to focus my time on higher priority tasks. Take on one additional project this quarter while maintaining the same number of work hours. Key results. Earn one more relevant additional certifications before the end of the first quarter. Attend 3 networking events and schedule 2 coffee or lunch meetings per month with potential mentors. Improve industry knowledge by attending one new workshop, conference, or presentation each month. Creating OKRs can be an empowering way to take ownership of your goals and find meaning in your personal and professional life. Start by defining your mission, or the overall reason for creating goals and why they're important. Then determine your objectives, or what you want to achieve. Then, develop key results that will make it clear how and when you've made progress and achieved success. For more on writing and refining your OKRs, check out these resources. Using OKRs for professional development. John Doerr's TED Talk, Why the Secret to Success is Setting the Right Goals. OKRs and SMART Goals, what's the difference? Larry Jeffers Race Cars, 3 to 4 Scale Def Ford GT Race Car Project Setup Project Goal, construct a 3 to 4 Scale Def Ford GT Race Car. Categories, Design, Fabrication, Assembly, Testing, Finishing. Microsoft Project Overview. Left side, Project Activities, Tasks. Right side, Gantt chart for visualizing the project schedule. Step-by-step guide using Microsoft Project 1. Adding tasks. Design phase. Initial design sketches. CAD modeling. Design reviews. Fabrication phase. Chassis fabrication. Engine fabrication. Body fabrication. Assembly phase. Chassis assembly. Engine installation. Body assembly. Testing phase. Initial tests. Performance tuning. Safety checks. Finishing phase. Paint and decals. Final inspection. Delivery preparation. Example tasks in Microsoft Project. Task name, design phase, fabrication phase, assembly phase, testing phase, finishing phase. Subtasks, initial design sketches, CAD modeling, etc. 2. Setting task mode. Set task mode from manually scheduled to auto-scheduled for efficiency. 3. Setting durations. Set durations for the lowest level activities. Initial design sketches, 5 days. CAD modeling, 10 days. Design reviews, 3 days. Chassis fabrication, 15 days. Engine fabrication, 20 days. Body fabrication, 15 days. Chassis assembly, 10 days. Engine installation, 5 days. Body assembly, 7 days. Initial tests, 5 days. Performance tuning, 7 days. Safety checks, 3 days. Paint and decals, 4 days. Final inspection, 2 days. Delivery preparation, 2 days. Example in Microsoft Project. Task name, initial design sketches. Duration, 5 days. 4. Adding predecessors. Define the sequence of activities using task numbers. CAD modeling, predecessor, initial design sketches, design reviews, predecessor, CAD modeling, chassis fabrication, predecessor, design reviews, engine fabrication, predecessor, design reviews, body fabrication, predecessor, design reviews, chassis assembly, predecessor, chassis fabrication, engine installation, predecessor, engine fabrication, body assembly, predecessor, body fabrication, initial tests, predecessor, chassis assembly, engine installation, body assembly, performance tuning, predecessor, initial tests, safety checks, predecessor, performance tuning, paint and decals, predecessor, safety checks, final inspection, predecessor, paint and decals, delivery preparation, predecessor, Final inspection, example in Microsoft project. Task name, CAD modeling predecessor, initial design sketches 5. Assigning resources labor resources. Larry, project manager, $105/hour curly, designer, $85/hour Mo, fabricator, $75/hour Joe, mechanic, $65/hour material resources. Steel, for chassis, $3,500/ton engine components, $22,000/unit fiberglass, for body, $1,400/ton paint, $550/gallon. Assign resources to tasks. Initial design sketches, curly CAD modeling, curly design reviews, Larry, curly chassis fabrication, Mo engine fabrication, Mo body fabrication, Mo chassis assembly, Joe engine installation, Joe body assembly, Joe initial tests, Joe performance tuning, Joe safety checks, Larry, Joe paint and decals, Mo final inspection, Larry delivery preparation, Larry, Joe example in Microsoft project. Task name, initial design sketches resource name, curly 6. Viewing the Gantt chart. Adjust the view to see the entire project, use the view menu and click on the entire project button. 7. Cost estimation. Add a cost column to see cost estimates. Initial design sketches, curly, 5 days, 5 days 8 hours, day $85/hour equals $3,400. CAD modeling, curly, 10 days, 10 days 8 hours, day $85/hour equals $6,800. Design reviews, Larry, curly, 3 days, 3 days 8 hours, day, $105/hour plus $85/hour, equals $4,560. Chassis fabrication, Mo, 15 days, 15 days 8 hours, day $75/hour equals $9,000. Engine fabrication, Mo, 20 days, 20 days 8 hours, day $75/hour equals $12,000. Body fabrication, Mo, 15 days, 15 days 8 hours, day $75/hour equals $9,000. Chassis assembly, Joe, 10 days, 10 days 8 hours, day $65/hour equals $5,200. Engine installation, Joe, 5 days, 5 days 8 hours, day $65/hour equals $2,600. Body assembly, Joe, 7 days, 7 days 8 hours, day $65/hour equals $3,640. Initial tests, Joe, 5 days, 5 days 8 hours, day $65/hour equals $2,600. Performance tuning, Joe, 7 days, 7 days 8 hours, day $65/hour equals $3,640. Safety checks, Larry, Joe, 3 days, 3 days 8 hours, day, $105/hour plus $65/hour, equals $4,080. Paint and decals, Mo, 4 days, 4 days 8 hours, day $75/hour equals $2,400. Final inspection, Larry, 2 days, 2 days 8 hours, day $105/hour equals $1,680. Delivery preparation, Larry, Joe, 2 days, 2 days 8 hours, day, $105/hour plus $65/hour, equals $2,720. Example in Microsoft project. Task name, initial design sketches cost, $3,400. 8. Task mode importance. Auto-scheduling tasks adjusts dependent activities automatically. Adjusting CAD modeling duration from 10 days to 12 days updates all dependent activities accordingly. 9. Final adjustments. Project start date, set to January 1, 2025 using the Project Information tab. Mark completed activities, use the %complete column. Enable project summary task, enable to get an overall project summary. Conclusion. Summarize project costs and durations at the top of the project summary task. Total project cost, $3,400, design sketches, plus $6,800, CAD modeling, plus $4,560, design reviews, plus $9,000, chassis fabrication, plus $12,000, engine fabrication, plus $9,000, body fabrication, plus $5,200, chassis assembly, plus $2,600, engine installation, plus $3,640, body assembly, plus $2,600, initial tests, plus $3,640, performance tuning, plus $4,080, safety checks, plus $2,400, paint and decals, plus $1,680, final inspection, plus $2,720, delivery preparation, equals $75,320. Total project duration, 5 days, design sketches, plus 10 days, CAD modeling, plus 3 days, design reviews, plus 15 days, chassis fabrication, plus 20 days, engine fabrication, plus 15 days, body fabrication, plus 10 days, chassis assembly, plus 5 days, engine installation, plus 7 days, body assembly, plus 5 days, initial tests, plus 7 days, performance tuning, plus 3 days, safety checks, plus 4 days, paint and decals, plus 2 days, final inspection, plus 2 days, delivery preparation, equals 113 days. Detailed numerical metrics. Example metrics. Actual cost performance, ACP, track costs against the budget. Earned value, F, measure project performance. Schedule performance index, SPI, evaluate schedule efficiency. Numerical metrics example. Budget, $77,000. Actual cost performance, ACP, $75,320. Earned value, F, if 50% of the project is completed, F equals $77,000 times 0.5 equals $38,500. Schedule performance index, SPI equals F, planned value, PV. If PV is $38,500 and F is $38,500, SPI equals 1.0, on schedule. By following this detailed scenario, you can effectively use Microsoft Project to manage the construction of a new 3 to 4 scaled F4 GT race car for Larry Jeffers Race Cars. Daenerys, the importance of project documentation. Scenario, importance of project documentation at Larry Jeffers Race Cars. Role and responsibilities. Daenerys, now overseeing project management at Larry Jeffers Race Cars, ensures that detailed documentation facilitates seamless coordination and efficiency across the racing team's projects. Her role focuses on aligning objectives with measurable outcomes to enhance performance on the track. Centralization. Daenerys implements a centralized approach to project documentation, establishing a master document repository accessible to all team members involved in tuning and race preparation. This repository includes project charters, each detailing the specific goals for optimizing the performance of race cars. Budget details, allocating funds for engine enhancements, chassis upgrades, and race logistics. Scope agreements, defining project boundaries to maintain focus and manage resources effectively. Approval matrices, listing required approvals for critical decisions, such as engine tuning specifications and parts procurement. Content of master document. Within the master document, Daenerys specifies measurable metrics to gauge the success of racing projects. Objective, improve quarter-mile performance. Key results, achieve an average quarter-mile time of 7.5 seconds across all race cars by the end of the season. Increase engine horsepower by 20% through tuning upgrades, verified by pre- and post-race dyno tests. Reduce vehicle drag coefficient by 10% through aerodynamic modifications, confirmed by wind tunnel testing. Flexibility in documentation. Recognizing the dynamic nature of racing, Daenerys ensures the flexibility of documentation to adapt to changing conditions. For each race event, a specific performance enhancement plan is developed, addressing potential challenges like track conditions or competitor strategies. Continuous revision. Daenerys emphasizes the iterative process of project documentation to drive continuous improvement. Quarterly reviews of project plans incorporate new data from races and feedback from drivers, enabling adjustments in tuning strategies and car setups. Living documents. At Larry Jeffers Race Cars, project documentation evolves alongside ongoing projects. Monthly updates to the master document reflect real-time performance metrics and adjustments made based on race outcomes and technical evaluations. Benefits of detailed documentation. The meticulous documentation approach at Larry Jeffers Race Cars yields significant benefits, reduces average race setup revision cycles by 25%, leading to quicker adaptation to track conditions and improved performance consistency. Enhances communication and collaboration among team members, resulting in a 20% reduction in pit stop times during races. Conclusion. Daenerys' structured approach to project documentation at Larry Jeffers Race Cars ensures that racing objectives are clearly defined, measurable, and achievable. By maintaining detailed and centralized documentation, the team optimizes race car performance, achieving competitive success and continuous improvement in drag racing events. This systematic documentation strategy serves as a cornerstone for operational excellence and strategic alignment within the racing team. Daenerys' insights on the importance of project documentation, role and responsibilities. Daenerys, a program manager at Google Research, emphasizes the critical role of effective communication and detailed documentation in ensuring alignment across teams and projects. Centralization. He advocates for centralizing project documentation into one master document to avoid death by 1,000 documents. This master document serves as a hub where all necessary sub-documents related to the project can be accessed easily. Content of master document. The master document includes essential elements such as the program charter, budget details, scope agreements, and approval matrices. This comprehensive approach allows Daenerys to quickly locate and reference critical information without searching through multiple files. Flexibility in documentation. Daenerys acknowledges that project management documentation isn't one-size-fits-all. Different projects may require specific types of documents like risk management plans, and the ability to adapt documentation needs based on project requirements is crucial. Continuous revision. He highlights the iterative nature of project documentation. Documents like project plans and charters evolve over time and require constant revision and updating as the project progresses. This approach ensures that documentation remains accurate and aligned with project goals throughout its life cycle. Living documents. Daenerys stresses that project documentation should be treated as living and breathing documents. They are dynamic and should be revisited regularly to incorporate changes, new insights, and evolving project needs. Benefits of detailed documentation. Detailed documentation reduces the need for numerous revisions by capturing project requirements more accurately from the start. This thoroughness minimizes errors and enhances project execution efficiency. Overall, Daenerys emphasizes the importance of meticulous and centralized project documentation as a cornerstone for effective project and program management at Google Research. Fictional scenario. Garage Yoshida baseline example background. Kozo Yoshida is the owner of Garage Yoshida, a small-scale, traditional Japanese workshop specializing in restoring Nissan Skyline GTR cars. The shop, located in the hills of Nara Prefecture, is renowned for its meticulous restorations. Project: restoration of a 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR R34 for a customer from the United States. Initial project plan. Tasks and timeline. Disassembly, 10 days bodywork, 30 days engine rebuild, 20 days paint and finish, 15 days reassembly and testing, 10 days resources. Yoshida, $80/hour assistant mechanic, $50/hour specialist painter, $70/hour parts and materials, $20,000 estimated costs. Labor costs, $50,000 parts and materials, $20,000 total estimated cost, $70,000 setting the baseline. Create tasks. Tasks: disassembly, bodywork, engine rebuild, paint and finish, reassembly and testing. Link tasks based on dependencies, for example, bodywork follows disassembly. Add resources. Assign Yoshida, assistant mechanic, and specialist painter to respective tasks. Include parts and materials costs in the budget. Set baseline. Go to the project tab and select set baseline for the entire project. Viewing baseline data. Insert columns. Baseline cost, baseline work, baseline start, baseline finish. Variance table. Shows differences between planned, baseline, and actual values. Example, if the bodywork takes 35 days instead of 30, the variance table will show a +5 days variance Gantt chart. Display baseline bars to compare planned versus actual timelines, visually updating and adjusting baselines. Track changes. If the engine rebuild takes 25 days, update the task duration and compare it with the baseline. Multiple baselines. Save multiple baselines to track changes over different phases, for example, initial baseline, post-engine rebuild baseline, re-baseline. If significant changes occur, set a new baseline and save the original as baseline 1. Best practices. File naming protocol. Use a consistent naming convention, for example, restoration_project_R34_baseline 1. Consistent updates. Regularly update the project plan and compare against the baseline to track performance. Detailed numerical metrics. Initial baseline metrics. Total estimated hours. Yoshida, 400 hours assistant mechanic, 300 hours specialist painter, 150 hours total estimated costs. Labor, $50,000 parts and materials, $20,000 total, $70,000 variance. Example. Bodywork actual duration. Planned, 30 days actual, 35 days variance, plus 5 days engine rebuild cost. Planned, $15,000 actual, $17,000 variance, plus $2,000 overall project cost. Planned, $70,000 actual, $74,000 variance, plus $4,000 visual comparison. Gantt chart. Show baseline and actual bars to see delays and cost overruns. Variance table summarizes all variances for quick review and decision making. By following these steps and experimenting with your own projects, you'll get a solid understanding of how baselines work and how to use them effectively in managing projects at Garage Yoshida.